what's going on? Is Asher coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. I am joined back on the channel by Darth UK over there, bro.
No, I'm good. You started right in the middle of a drink and you got me. I tried not to.
I don't give you any warning when I'm starting my videos. We just go into it, man. No drinks allowed. We're good. So welcome back to the channel, man. How you been?
Man, I gotta tell you, Ash, I'm having a fantastic day today. You know, normally the YouTubers go off and they're like, "Hey guys, you know what up? It's Ash here with Raid Shadow Legends. I'm having a fantastic," but I'm actually having a fantastic day today.
Oh, like can you do my? Can you do the intro better than I can?
No. You do your intro. Give me your one-liner, and I'll nail it better than you. 100%.
My poor viewers are like, what is this point of this video? All right.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's going on? Is Asher coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Boom. Boom.
Okay. All right. Okay. This is
boom.
All right, no problem. Now I actually feel like I talked myself up.
Yeah, no pressure.
All right. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here with Raid Shadow Legends, and how are you doing today? What we're gonna be doing is, what are we doing today? Actually?
Okay, we'll give it to you, man. Well, I'll let my viewers stay. I'll let my viewers give the video a thumbs up if you did a good job. Give the video a thumbs up if you did a bad job. All right. So anyway, today is not about trying to mimic my intro, but rather it is about, we actually had a long chat, like an hour-long chat or so before we record this video. We also did a collab on your channel, so check out Darth's channel if that video is live. It will also be linked in the description below. But we kind of got on this thing about
no drinks allowed.
You know, what could we improve about the game? And I felt like everything that we mentioned kind of led to the same overarching point that nobody really talks about. Do you want to kind of lay it out for my viewers?
Sure, yeah, I guess I could give you the synopsis of it.
Sure.
So, in the Zack Snyder 4-hour Justice League, just kidding. So, essentially, the idea was that we believe the community is, one, essentially amazing, two, has no way of interacting with each other, and three, I think we figured out the way we can actually get them to interact with each other, potentially, which is, I want to say, sort of what they're already doing with Clan Boss, but just not what they're already doing. I mean, Clan Boss is the right direction, but instead of doing like, here's mommy's chore list and which of the brothers do it better, we should actually have like clans compete in all-out planned warfare.
Yes. 100%. So like rewinding a little bit in terms of the big issue is like you said, people not really interacting in the game. What does that mean? Because we were talking about like whether you're a spender, whether you're free to play, whether you're starting the game, whether you're mid game, whether you're end game, it doesn't matter. No matter who you are, the question that inevitably jumps into your mind when you're playing this game is like, why? You know, like it's fun, but it can be fun to build a team. It can be fun to, you know, develop new strategies, all that stuff. But what really, in our experience, what the true enjoyment comes in the game is kind of working collaboratively, you know? And right now, like, what are you trying so hard for? You improve your dragon run by 10 seconds. You get a new level in Doom Tower.
Tell me about it. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? It's like, let me put it this way. The reason you want to play the game is for the opportunities to get a new character, so that way you can do something you already are completing slightly better. It doesn't make any sense.
When you put it that way, it does feel very, very demoralizing. And then the cycle repeats, right?
Exactly. It's like right now, you want to know something that's the perfect point? In Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, I've already spent thousands of dollars and made hundreds of videos in the game. I just made a brand new account and spent $500 in 4 days on a brand new account, because the way they do it in that game is when you start a new account, you're in a seeded shard. You know how like in tournaments, you have a novice tournament, but instead all PvP and player interaction is within that shard of time they started. So instead of competing with everyone else in the world,
you can never go against somebody who started a year and a half ago.
Exactly. I'm never going to play someone that started a year and a half ago. I'm people at my power from when I started. And on top of it, they have live PvP and all that stuff. And all of it is done within your power when you started in a fair bracket. So when you're progressing, you get a sense of, I'm progressing faster than the other people, because you are. There is other people, not everyone. You can never progress faster in this game because it's all luck. But if you were playing against people that start at the same time, you absolutely have a goalpost of where you are in the game, you know? And it's so hard to know where you're at in raid because you're not anywhere. There is no other There's no other anything. Like, where exactly are you against other people? There's Platinum Arena, which is 300 people. You're either 1 to 300 or you're not. And that's all there is.
Yeah, no, I mean, you said it well there. And you also really depressed me.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
Because it's a cyclical thing, but at the same time, you're right. It's like, what does it even matter when there's really no robust end game inside this game? Only 300 people in the world can finish in Platinum every week. And you have to spend, like, let's be real, thousands of dollars to contend on that level. And then what? Like, you know, do people even, you know, care? I mean, what is, you know, is that enough? And I think that we agree the answer is no. So that is the glass half empty view of this game, because you can get a lot of enjoyment along the way. I'm not trying to take that away. But, and we both like this game. I love the game. I don't want to speak for you, but you cover it, so at least you must like it a little bit, right?
I mean, hey, look, man. Everyone knows that I'm the most honest content creator you're gonna find in your life. And half the reason I play the game is because that's what people will watch more than anything. People want to watch me auto the stupid dragon and punch clan boss in the stomach. Sure, I'll do it for you guys. Okay, that's what you want to see. But the other half of the reason I play it is it's legitimately a game that I did fall in love with. I started playing it when Mobile Gamer ran an ad. I love Mobile Gamer. I always will. He helped me in content creation. He's helped me off camera through depression. It was there when I went through my divorce. I mean, the guy's just a fantastic person, right? So I started the game because of that, and because of him as a suggestion through one of his ads. And I still like the game because the dopamine, let's be honest, they nail dopamine better than any other game we know. And I don't care what anybody says, the game comes down to, did I pull the character I want or not? That's it. That's the game, okay? That's how I see it, because everything else is, can you run the dungeon because you have the character or you don't? There's not really too much brain power involved, and you hit auto. So for me, it's like they nailed the dopamine. And I've had more fun playing free to play than I ever had an account I spent $16,000 on, because the characters I pulled, when I pulled the Doom Priest, I about lost my mind. I mean, I got that in the first week on my main account, and I didn't even care, you know?
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, there's a lot to enjoy about this game, but yeah, man, I think that at the end of the day, you know, the good news is, in my opinion, like, sure, we've identified the biggest problem, at least in both of our eyes with this game, right? So the good news is it's, I wouldn't say easily solvable, but they did drop a little hint in at the end of the day. It is Plarium, so who knows how long this might take. But they did say on the Clan Wars tournament, which we're not a big fan of, neither of us, but they did say that this is the first kind of version, and there is going to be more robust, like, PvP that they have planned as well, clan versus clan PvE. I wanted you to tell us a little bit about Star Wars Galaxy, how they do it in terms of a really, really amazing version of PvP that could be the solution to this overarching problem that we're talking about in terms of lack of collaborative endgame. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. I actually 100% believe if they straight, and this is real, like, I believe this with all my heart, if they straight up copied, and I mean, like, they already are copying Summoner's War or whatever from forever ago. We all know that. So it's just copy it. No one cares. You already do better visuals. So just copy Star Wars Galaxy's Heroes Territory War. And how it works is you have a guild or a clan. I'll do them raids terms so we all are on the same page. So you have your clan. Okay, you do matchmaking based upon people within your clan who decide to participate for that war. Let's say 25 out of 30 people decide to participate, and let's say that's 120 out of 130 million power of your clan, for instance. It would then match against another 120 million power clan. You would have 6 zones, 2, 2, and 2, meaning these 6 zones are places where your clan will fill up with teams, like 5-man teams. And then the enemy does the same thing. In 24 hours, you fight against each other, but you can only use the teams you didn't put on defense. So it's effectively like if a character's dead, he's dead for that war, right? Meaning it's all about the chess play. Maybe your front row, and this is where it gets really smart, is you can only see the teams that are in the front row until you defeat them. Then you can see the teams behind it. Like rows of a Roman Empire, you don't know what's behind the first row of army, right? So as you're executing through, they may have baited you into using teams you needed for that next row. It's all about the smartness and the strategy, and is not about who is the better well. So for that reason, you could actually be a free-to-play player, but have pulled a good PvP team. Let's say you have a Torment team or something, and that high-power clan needs 2 more Torment players for their strategy. You could get into that guild and be a highly useful, low-power player. And it's fantastic. It's hugely successful. They give rewards both in gear as well as in our version of legendary books. They give all kinds of rewards. It is massively popular. It's a way of PvP done without having to do live and without having to do lots of back-end coding, but is smart, and it's like a chess game. And that is what Raid desperately needs, is smartness, not stupid wall.
That's because I graduated the 6th grade, man. Only took 3 years.
And who can well out more in the tournaments. We need smart gameplay being rewarded.
Yeah, no, I think that's amazing because, again, the game that I started with back a long time ago was Clash of Clans. And it's the same kind of, did you play Clash of Clans at all back in the day?
Yeah, I love Clash of Clans.
So,
I've watched
Clan Wars,
videos.
the same thing where you can have like, it doesn't matter if you have, sure, if you have a couple whales in your clan, that's great. It helps the clan out a lot. But everybody has a role, right? Like you still need your town hall, like whatever, 9s back in the day, like your non-max players, essentially, they still serve an important part of the team. And I think that they could easily do something like that in Raid Shadow Legends as well. I really hope that's the biggest thing for me, is that they resist the urge to reward only whales, right? Reward only big pay to win accounts and make it like, you know, just based on that. I love the idea of everybody has, whether you're a spender or not a spender, there is that collaborative community base in the game, because let's face it, at the end of the day, again, Clash of Clans is almost 10 years old. Because of Clan Wars, because of that ability to everybody to contribute, whether or not you're a whale, has made the game last that long. I would love to see that for Raid. And if Plarium really does only care about the money at the end of the day, they should want to invest in a system like this.
100%
right?
should. Here's the thing. Here, you're 100% correct, because the subjectivity of power levels, meaning when you're brought into a game like Raid, you're automatically objectively behind every other player. There is no world in Raid in which you are better for having started later. Whereas in some aspects of like a game like Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, I'm not saying Star Wars Galaxy Heroes is the best game. I left Star Wars to go to Raid. I'm not sitting here giving them the positivity that I believe they deserve. It's just they really nailed it for new players, because now a new player can join the game and have almost a better experience than they could have before, because of how they allowed players to consistently find a role in the game regardless of how long they've been in the game. And I think that's crucial, because I looked at their annual report. If you saw one of my videos lately, I'm not going to plug it, but we go over the whole annual report.
Plug away,
right?
bro. What do I care?
You're incredible. I know.
Is in that annual report, they mentioned their primary focus is 2 things. Number 1 of the 2 being, and their majority of market focus is on new player acquisition. If that's true, then you need the new players to be relevant, or else why are they going to want to stay? Trust me, they can feel the difference between their account and other players.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, it's not about, acquisition is one thing, and then retention is a whole nother, right? Like, what good is acquisition without retention? So yeah, we're aligned there, man. Well, I think that's to summarize. I mean, that's the biggest issue is lack of that key. And again, we've gotten a lot in the last year, and I think that we're excited at the direction this game seems to have been going, you know? Otherwise, again, why would we be covering at the end of the day? But that's what that's like the holy grail in Raid, you know? But Darth, while I have you, man, I do want to ask you a couple other questions just about like some of the more recent content, because it's been a while since we had you on. And the one time we had you on the channel, it was ranking the champions based on looks. So there's that. But what I wanted to ask you is Doom Tower. What are your thoughts on, like, let's just go rapid fire here. What are your thoughts on Doom Tower?
Okay, and Jim, I'll tell you what, why don't you ask me a little bit more specific of a question related to Doom Tower?
Doom Tower as a whole.
Thank you. That solves most of my problem.
Yeah, more specific.
Oh, yeah, now
Doom
I'm throwing
Tower
it
as a
back on
whole.
you.
I like that.
that.
Get more specific, like Doom Tower. All right, so like, okay, what do you think of the bosses in Doom Tower and the strategy necessary, like the strategic elements that Doom Tower lent to the game? Do you think that's enough? Is it you know, meet your expectations?
All right, there we go. So, so Doom Tower, for me, in the terms of bosses and strategic element, is absolutely a new addition to the game. Let me put it this way: Vergus is now a top tier champion. Scrapper has use. He's a piece of garbage. Right. And so
why are you saying this stuff?
Obviously, I am not going to complain about giving use to characters that did not have use before. This is an objective improvement, in my opinion. Also, the fact that Doom Tower rewards do reset every month, that is better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't know they reset every month. I got that wrong when I covered it first. That's an objective improvement as well. The reason I say that is, as a free-to-play player, any aspect of additional monthly rewards are always good, granted that they're permanent additions to the game. Things like Advanced Quest Forge were great additions for free-to-play players because these are permanent additions to the game. They will always be there, giving more additional resources to the player. I can't complain about that because it's good and healthy for the player. What I will say about the Doom Tower is, as far as entertainment value goes, it is lacking, in my opinion, but it is significantly hard, in my personal opinion, to do consistent PvE content in a game that's reliant on auto and around building the team. And once you have the team, you can auto it. Around a game that's solving content, and once the content's solved, it's done. It is really hard for them to get repetitive enjoyment, which is why I believe, if we go back to our previous points, community versus community or community-based content is really where they should be focusing. And it would also, in my personal opinion, save them money in the long time if the community generates its own content instead of them having to consistently make new PvE content.
Okay, well, I tend to agree pretty much with everything that you said there. You know, I'm not going to pretend like it's the most thrilling experience ever, especially after the first few days. The novelty of Doom Tower kind of ran its course. It is a little bit more of a chore type thing, you know, especially once you either beat it or reach your plateau, whatever that might be. It's like, okay, all right. I'm excited about the new bosses, though. I think that building to 11 or 10 mini bosses, whatever, like unique ones, will even open up more, you know, versatility, more usability for new champions or old champions, which I like it as well. So I think we pretty much aligned there. I wanted to ask you, what do you think of all these new champions? They're adding a lot of new, like really compelling and good champions. Do you think it's generally good or bad for the game? Like power creep wise, and you know, like I'm
going to give you a different take on it, which
sure.
I think it's something that cannot be avoided. I think that when they stop adding new characters and they stop adding new events and they stop adding new fusions and all, and you know, and people stop complaining about having lots of paywalls, the game dies because they don't have new income, and they spend as much on marketing as they do make from this game. So I do believe that as soon as they start coming out with new stuff, the money dries up. And I think that I know as a whale myself, if there's no new content coming out, I'm typically not just buying shards and opening them. I fairly rarely just open shards because I feel like opening shards without an event. I don't meet anyone who really does that, to be honest. Everyone does it during events. And so I can understand that from a business side, and it's really hard for me to say that they're making terrible decisions when it's the only way that their game is currently set up for them to continue. I mean, there is a single player aspect to this game, and without single players needing new content, if they have a max account, where is the money coming from? Which is why, once again, I argue for community versus community. That being said, the characters that are coming to the game, I think, are diluting the pool of good characters. I'm not the first content creator to say this. There's only 3 counterattacks in the game. They said they made a mistake and will never put in another counterattack. If that's true, remove them from the game and give compensation. Why is it a mistake and only the people who get lucky now can get them? It doesn't make sense. You made the mistake, well then commit to it. We need new counterattacks. You can't just have something that's locked out and free to play and hope your mistake gets buried under 300 new characters. I think that's a stupid way of handling your mistakes, personally. So stuff like that I don't like. I don't like that Code Heart is something that's getting locked out by new Void rares that are garbage, and Code Heart is obviously a much needed rare. I don't like the Royal Guard is way more diluted now. There's things that are, in my opinion, 100% required for free to play people to not have to well off on team comps that are now diluted in the pool. So it's hard for me to say it's encouraging, but bro, you have to have dopamine in this game for the whales. If dopamines aren't going to, if there's no whales with gambling addictions, the game goes to zero. So I don't, you know, I can't fault them on it, but yeah, it's not good, probably.
Yeah, and like, listen, part of me agrees with you, part of me disagrees, because to your point, they're not going to stop adding champions. We know that, right? And it's better that they're good than bad, because then it would dilute the pool even more, right? Or if they were super redundant, if they did what everybody else does already. So I think that the fact that they're better than a lot of the champions that we have, and it continues to kind of move in that direction, I think that's generally a good thing. However, you know, power creep is a real thing now inside the game. You know, like, old champions that used to be amazing are just not that amazing anymore. And people really resist that too. Just like the idea that the game is forcing you to pay to even remain status quo for new content that they add to the game, you know? But at the end of the day too, I do think that, to your point about Cold Heart, and that's something specifically I want to mention, I didn't know that they said that we'll never add a counterattack champion to the game again, because my whole feeling is that while you're adding all these OP champions, you need to give us, well, need is a very pretentious way of saying it, but they ought to give us some really compelling good rares like Cold Heart in there too, you know? Like, I would be so cool with if they just brought a couple really good rares with every batch of these new 25 champions, you know? If they have another heck, if they gave us a rare counterattack champion, I know it sounds like I'm asking for a lot there, but they've given us 150 new AoE decreased defense, you know, champions. That used to be a rare ability to have on a 3-turn cooldown. Now it seems like everybody has that. So if they gave us some really like compelling Cold Heart-esque, Reliquary Tender-esque, Apothecary-esque rare champions, more of those, then heck, I'm excited, you know, and I have no problem with it, but they're not doing that, you know?
They're not.
Thank you for that perspective.
So
that's an issue. You know, hopefully they do that in the future. But I don't know, man. It's weird, right? I hope that they add something like that, because to me, that's what we're really missing with these new champions.
It's the same thing as inflation. They're printing characters like you would print money, and it's devaluing. It's just devaluing.
Yeah, it really mirrors what's going on in real life, right? So like it's like the fiat currency is champions right now, and there's a lot of them. But all right, so let me ask you this last question for you is, you know, all the other issues that people talk about on a daily basis. I'm sure what half the people in this video clicked on this video thinking we were going to talk about, basically like the dupe system and silver and stuff like that. Do you have any like, I don't know, outside the box ideas, whether they're your own or something that you read or saw that really resonated with you, that you think could solve any of those issues? Like, what are your favorite solutions?
I bought Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes again, but they have something like for new players that join the game now. They have something called a hyperdrive bundle. You pay $100 and it unlocks like $1,000 worth of stuff for people that are way late to the game. So it's like you make a new account, you pay $100 and it would give you like 15 sacreds and 25 voids. And it's like, you can only do it one time. But the thing is, they make so much money. I don't think people even realize Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes was EA's #1 moneymaker for like a while as a nothing game. People didn't even get that. They think it's FIFA. It wasn't for a while. So it's like the games can make good offers and still make money. I feel like that's where Raid's forgetting. It's like you can still offer everyone a ridiculous deal and print money. It doesn't cost you anything. It may devalue your future offers, but your stuff is so high anyway. People are laughing at your offers. $30 for sacred. Stop anchoring people. You're making yourself look bad. Like my idea, give us a good pack offer. How hard is that?
Okay, so interesting. That's actually an interesting idea, because I wasn't expecting you to go there. So you just want more compelling offers that make more sense for everybody, essentially?
Yeah, like I've pledged to never spend $1 on the game again, right? The only way they would ever like get me out of my promise is if they change the pricing model. I like personally, the only reason I could even afford to do it is because one, it's a write-off, and I make money on the money I spent. It's double dipping. You know that as a content creator.
Sure.
So
yeah.
That's the only reason it even makes sense to me. I've seen people spend thousands on like paycheck to paycheck, and I'm not blaming their bad their addiction and their controlling of themselves on Plarium. That's not Plarium's fault.
Thank you.
But they don't make the prices easy. Like $30 for a sacred is just, I mean, just spit on me. It's the same thing.
I hear you. I think that like, do you have, I guess I lied, really last question. Do you have any like solutions or any ideas on how to solve, like what would be the best solution? That huge caveat that Plarium might actually go for dupes.
So this is for the people that are wondering. This is Ash rephrasing the question, saying, "DM, can you actually answer the question?" Is what he said. So the answer to your original question is yes. I have a guaranteed solution for you. Okay, do a Sacred Shard daily login pack. You spend $50, you get a Sacred every other day. That's it. Just add that to the game. That's it.
Okay, but like, what about the dupe system?
Dude, well, you want me to go down? Yeah, okay. I mean, I could go through the list of all the other things.
No. Like, this is my last question to you. This is my last question to you.
Okay, so dupe system. I'll give you
a big caveat. A dupe system that Plarium would actually go for. Like, because I feel like everybody's idea of a dupe system is something that would just, like, I want to be realistic. I know it's ultimately Plarium, right? Like, so what do you think is something they would actually probably like?
Do?
You know what? Let me rephrase the question. Okay, Plarium says next week we have a dupe system. What is it? Not what would you make? What do you think Plarium's going to give us?
Duplicate legendary. Congratulations, you can change them for 25 fragments of a character.
Yeah,
that's their dupe.
I think this is going to be something like that too.
The same day.
I think it's going to be something like, I think every champion is going to be broken down into fragments or something like that, right?
Bro, that's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah. It's disgusting. Or there's fragments of a Sacred Shard. You get like 15 fragments of a Sacred Shard.
Fragments of a shard. Shard fragments.
It's going to be a joke.
Yeah, because there's no way they just let us re-roll the champion. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. There's no way they let us, like, I think that a good happy medium would be like you fuse 4 champions of the same rarity for a champion you don't have of the rarity. But even that is asking. What?
They're not going to do that either, bro.
I was going to say, even that, like, probably most of the audience is like, dude, that sounds ridiculously dumb.
Not even close.
But they wouldn't even do it, I don't think, you know? Like, I think they'd be like, no way.
You don't have?
Yeah, something they don't have. No. Okay, so fragments. We think it's going to be around fragments. Well, there you go, man.
It's going to be that or worse. At 25 fragments is being generous, I'm telling you.
All right, well, fingers crossed that we're wrong on that one. Ending on a good note, man. Well, you have some great free-to-play content on your channel. My viewers should go check it out. Also have a podcast, I guess, featuring yours truly coming out soon.
Yeah, we've been doing another. I get basically kind of the same thing here. We just another one of these chit-chats about whatever we've been talking. I don't even know, whatever we've been talking about.
We talked about the community more, like about content creators and what got us into it and stuff like that. So you guys can go check out that piece of content as well. Darth, I'll let you have the last word. Any particular last notes you want to mention?
Yeah, there's a last note I want to mention, actually.
Hit me.
And it's a G.